Hey, my name is Damien and I'm going to be your host of Guitar Guides with D. And today I'm going to show you guys how to start playing guitar, or the essentials that you need to start playing the guitar. So first of all, let's start with the acoustic. This is just a cheaper Ibanez acoustic. You can end up picking it up for around 350 to 400 Canadian. It's a nice juggernaut. You can see you can plug it in to an amp. So you can use a little tiny Fender amp like this, which works great for an acoustic or for an electric. So what you're going to want to do is after you end up getting yourself a cheap acoustic guitar, get yourself a capo, a few different picks, different varieties, different thicknesses, a tuner, and you're pretty much set for an acoustic wise. You could get the optional slides and all that kind of stuff, but it's not essential for starting out. So now that you have a guitar and you're ready to play it, it's time to get it in tune. We'll start with the low E string here, the thickest string, and we'll go down to the high E string, the thinnest string. So it'll go E, A, D, G, B, E. What you do is you look at the tuner, you end up plucking the string, and wait for it to go green. If it end up going red, mattering on which way it is, going high or low, matters on if you tune up or tune down the string. Now it's capo time. So this is a capo, and the capo is made to end up changing the amount of tension on your strings, making it so then you can get a higher and like a higher pitch, or if you take it off, you can end up just having a normal kind of lower pitch. So as you can see, let's take this off here quick. Right. And I'm just going to pluck the low E string down. You can see nice low pitch, great sound. Now let's put this on the capo on the 5th. Right, so just nice and close to the fret there. That's kind of how you want it. You always want to try, just go through all of them once. Make sure none of them are binding, but you can hear the higher pitch that ends up going along as soon as you toss a capo on, right? So most artists use a capo when they end up having to do a higher pitched song, or when the singer's voice is just that other pitch that is harder to end up getting on a normal tuning of a acoustic guitar. Now it's electric guitar time. So this is a nice cheap Jackson JS11. One of the cheapest guitars you can buy, but also one of the nicest playing for the price of the guitar. Right, with an electric you need quite a bit more, to be honest with you, to end up getting yourself started. Right, the guitar is going to be approximately the same price as the acoustic, right, if you want to go on the cheaper end of it, but you need to buy yourself an amp. This is just a cheap Fender Frontman 25R, right? It sounds good, works good, very reliable. Nothing big enough to end up playing on a live stage, but enough that you can keep it in your apartment and not piss off your neighbors, right? So when you get an amp, I would try and specify it to what kind of music that you end up liking to listen to. This is a very versatile amp where you can play, let's say, country music, kind of all the way up to like some heavy metal, and still not have too much in between. You'll need a couple pedals, but it is what it is once you start to progress into the guitars. You're gonna want different varieties of picks as well, right? I enjoy the one with grip picks. They end up making it so they don't slide in your hands, plus getting a nice clear sound. I always started on these little Dunlop picks, and a little bit thicker for the electric, but you can always go down to a smaller pick as well, which is almost half the size, and that'll help you with speed picking. Going to need an amp cable, right? Just end up plugging it in from the guitar to the amp. I find electric guitar was a little bit easier for myself to learn, just because you're not focusing on as many chords. You're more focusing on like power chords and stuff like that. So here's a few differences as well. If you want, let's say you don't want pretty much the cheapest guitar you can end up getting, right? I have a little bit a little bit more expensive. This one's around the 600 Canadian mark. It is a Dean ZF. Right, great playing guitar, better looking guitar. All right, it's got the hard tail, all right, which ends up making it so you can drop tuning very fast without having to worry as much, right? On this Jackson, since it has the whammy bar, the one way, I find the cheaper that the guitars are, the more they go out of tune when you end up using it, right? Great example of one that would never go out of tune is my Sinister Gates edition. It's right here. It's got a Floyd Rose on it. Right, this is, well, probably one of the most expensive ones in my collection, but because of the locking nut, right, and the Floyd Rose, the tuning stability is phenomenal. So just so you know that you can always have a lot of fun, and you would never really have to end up going and buying a very expensive guitar, but the quality difference in between the two and the sound and playability, it's just like no other, right? So great to start out on, great for intermediate players. When you start to advance and know that this is really what you want to continue to do, get yourself something that you really enjoy, something that you saw all your idols and all that stuff end up playing, which really makes you want to pick it up more. Well, this is going to be the end of my video, guys. I really hope that this could end up helping you. At least try and figure out what you need to start getting into playing the guitar if that's what you really want to do. It is turning, as the years go on, to a cheaper hobby, right? And the tabs and all that are getting way easier to find. Just searching through Google, or there's different ways around it now. Like there's different video games and stuff you can end up getting to help you learn chords and all that. If there's anything else that you guys would like to end up seeing, please let me know. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.